3.
Hi, my name is Jorge Tercero. This is my audience. Today I'm here to show you how to shoot a basketball. When shooting a basketball, you first want to know about correct form. When going to shoot a basketball, you want a 90-degree angle. You also want your elbow. You want your elbow to be in line with your shoulders so that it could be straight. It could be straight and accurate. Another thing about the shooting form, you also want a gap between the ball and the palm. That's another thing you should have in your shooting form that will help. For the next thing is stance. For your stance, you don't want it too wide, you don't want it too close, no further than the shoulders, than the width of your shoulder. So there's two stances you could take when shooting a ball. You could either take the one that your feet are facing toward the basket, like this, or you could have the one tilted a little away from the basket, like this. Whichever one's more comfortable, use it. The next thing you should know when shooting a basketball is how to hold the ball correctly. When holding the ball, you should have your shooting hand on top of the ball or behind, whichever one's more comfortable. As for your guide hand, you want it on the side of the basketball. It'll always be at the side of the basketball. Your shooting hand won't be on the side of the basketball because it just makes it harder to shoot. You have to rotate your hand and it just messes up your shot. The next thing is when you're starting to shoot, when you're getting ready to shoot. You get the ball and you want to lower the ball to your waist to thigh. When you do this, you want to bend your knees just as the ball is going down. You want to bend your knees, and then you want to start to pull up the ball. When pulling up the ball, you want to make sure it's straight. You don't want it to go to the right or to the left. You just want it to go straight. The next thing is whether you're a one motion shooter or a two motion shooter. Two motion shooters usually shoot and stop and then continue. Two motions. As for a one motion shooter, will shoot only in one motion. Examples of one shooters are like Curry, and for two motion shooters, Kobe. Those are, whichever one's more comfortable, you do that motion. Not everyone's gonna do two motion. I use one motion personally, but whatever is most comfortable. The next thing you want to know is release. When you release the basketball, you want to release it a little before the peak of your jump. That is where you want to release the ball because it gives you the most power and strength. The next thing about release you need to know is you want to push the ball upward. You want to have arc in your shot. When you have arc in your shot, it will increase the chances of you making the shot, which is why it's important. The next thing is follow through. When following through, you want to shoot, you want to just have your hand basically completely going and never stopping. So when you start, you want to completely just finish your shot. You never want to stop. So when you go through this and you shoot the ball, it'll make a swan kind of looking thing on your hand, and your fingers will be facing towards the basket. That's when you know when you follow through your shot. So altogether, the most important is your shooting form, 90-degree, elbow in line with your shoulder for your shot to be straight, your stance, whether it's tilted or straight to the basket, whichever one's comfortable, and your release. That's pretty much all the things you need to know for shooting a basketball. Shooting a basketball, you would also like a little tip. is on the ridges. You could put your fingers on the ridges and it'll just give you better, personally it gives me better grip of the ball, and you'll be able to have better grip overall with the ball and shoot without, you know, messing up. These are pretty much all things that you should know about shooting a basketball.